this morning, I want to explore some of the richer areas of Mumbai. And when I search online, apparently there's a place called Malbar Hill, which is somewhere over there. Right now I'm at Chowpatty Beach, and I can already see there's some quite fancy looking apartments here, and this one not so much. So I'm just gonna head over to Malbar Hills, see what's there, and then I'm gonna walk up to what is supposed to be the most expensive residential house in the world. I think it's worth $2 or $3 billion, and it's owned, I think, by you know, the richest man in Asia. I think he's the boss of a company called Reliance or something like that. So let's walk over there and have a look. There's me waiting for the traffic lights like an idiot. People are just crossing. No. This park, it's not open yet, I guess. Oh no, it is open. Okay. At the top of this hill, there should be a place called Hanging Gardens. And I don't really know what that is. It's a park of some kind of green area, I guess. And hopefully that will, you know, give me a view over Malbar Hills. And maybe you can see where to go next. It almost feels like I'm not I'm not in a city, like I'm in the mountains somewhere. I guess this is a mountain, but we're literally just 5 minutes down the road from a much noisier part of town. This is a temple or something at the top of this hill. Hindu temple, I guess. I don't know where they put the cows at night. Like, do they just leave them tied up outside? Or do they have some special kind of stable for cows? This is the Hanging Gardens. It's a park. But it's a park with... Oh, let's see. I think we're going to be heading in this direction. We want to head north, because that's where Atilia is. It's where that crazy expensive building is. And I think that's where the richer areas are. This area is nice, don't get me wrong, but there's not like mega skyscrapers with like balconies with amazing views. I feel like there are nicer places here. Maybe they're not so easy to see from the road. So just walking around, you can't really get a sense. You do see some nicer cars, but it's nothing crazy. So let's head north and see if things change. I think from here we can look back down onto the beach where we've come from. I think it's just down here. This is an old looking building. Like this was not built yesterday. It's not much of a viewing gallery. I mean, if you wanna view, I think you'd need to cut down some of these trees. Anyway, let's keep going. It really does feel sometimes like, you know, sometimes you're in Mumbai and it feels like you're in an episode of, what's that movie? Birds. It feels like Alfred Hitchcock's Birds. Like sometimes you're just in one place and you're just surrounded by like 10,000 birds or hundreds of birds. I'll pull a picture up from yesterday of like the birds or the pigeons that I just saw in just one random place in the street. So here you get a more interesting view. So I'm walking down the street and I can see Atilia kind of through the tree line. Atilia is the expensive building. And then this area here is just overgrown. It's just forest. It's quite odd. You would think that if land was so, you know, expensive here, you would want to develop that. You wouldn't just leave it to grow like that. And it's not even a park, as far as I can tell, because it says private property or property of some corporation. Property of the Parsi Panchayat, Mumbai. I don't know what that is, but you know, if they own that land, it's worth quite a lot. See a lot of these guys on the street. Well, I don't know if they're doing this when the weather's nice, but they repair umbrellas. It's quite good because, you know, normally when an umbrella breaks, I just throw it away. But here, you can pay, you know, this guy a little bit of money and he'll fix your umbrella for you. I think some of the nice houses, or some of the taller houses, seem to be on this street. So let's just walk up, have a look. Some of these buildings are quite new. Some of them feel like colonial era buildings, and the names kind of echo that. Like Chapsy Terrace on Altamount Road. And obviously these ones are new. Sounds like a very fancy name. Palazzo. But this building here kind of looks overgrown and it looks unfinished. I don't know, maybe it's just a car park, but to me it looks like a building that wasn't finished. This is the building that we're looking to, oh no, visit. That we're here to see, we could say. This one up here. Oh, this is an interesting looking building because it says Bombay, Baroda and Central Railways 1855. So that gives you the age of this house. And then behind it is Atilia, which for some reason has some construction lifts side. I try and get closer, but you know, the closer I get, the less you can see of it. So now I'm on a public street, but I'm sure as I walk past this, security is going to be quite tight. Oh wow, look at the sign, it's quite cool. They've got some greenery growing there. I wonder if he pays for this or if the city pays for it, because I see some that says police. 39 Altamount Road. As I was just walking past, a guy in plain clothes, he asked me to stop filming. I said, it's a public road, isn't it? He said, yeah, it's a public road, but security. So, but I think I got enough of, yeah, I got to see what I wanted. And now I'm gonna try and head to wherever the fancy malls are. Hopefully it's not far from here, and it looks like it's about to pour down. Let me get my umbrella. It's about to start tipping down. Look. This is the problem. It does this 2 or 3 times a day. And it will rain like this, like torrential rain for, I don't know, 30 minutes. And then it will stop, but it won't really stop. So the ground never gets dry. And you know, my feet are never dry either. Anyway, about that building, back there, Atilia. I don't really understand the mentality. Mumbai has like a lot of poor areas, and you know, quite a lot of poverty that you can see. And you're rich, I get it, you want to live in a nice place, but you know, you could live somewhere that was less of a, I don't know, a statement, because that house feels like a statement. I want to show people, or I want to show the world. And I don't know, I feel like it would make sense if you had money, you know, live somewhere more low-key, not in this $3 billion building that half the people in the city can see. Now look at this building. I'd much rather live here. I'm sure it's probably like multi-million-dollar apartments, but it's quite nice, and at least it doesn't, you know, attract so much attention to one family or to one individual. What's it called? It's called Carmichael Residences. Actually, let's have a look. Let's have a look how much one of these costs. I'm curious. So I looked it up, and whenever I see like big Indian numbers, I never understand, because they have a different system. They have crore and lakh and some other words that they use for big numbers. But apparently, and I'll put the screenshot of this up on the street, that place back there, Carmichael Residences, is 25 crore. And 25 crore is something like $30 million. Which seems insane, but I don't know, it could be true. If this is one of the most expensive places in the world, it could be real. But it doesn't feel like I'm walking down one of the most expensive streets in the world. It feels very, you know, normal, low-key. So look at this. This building has a 99-year lease signed in 1934, and that's not so unusual. But what's interesting is the annual rent. So you have to pay rent for this lease, and according to the sign, it's a fixed rent. So this man, I assume, is paying for rent. He's paying 800 rupees a year. 800 rupees is like, it's like $10. So I hope it's inflation linked, but I mean, if he's really just paying $10 for a piece of land here, wow. He got the deal of the century. Again, there's another one here, and there's the same sign outside the front, and it says this residence is much bigger than the other place. Is annual rent is 5,000 rupees. 5,000 rupees is, not very much. I think it's maybe a few $100s a year, maybe $500 a year. I don't know if every house is like this, but if it is, that seems pretty crazy, because the people who live here, I assume, are quite rich. So surprisingly, the nearest Louis Vuitton from here is in a place called Gio, which is about 60 minutes away by bus or 40 minutes away by car. I'm not that eager to see Louis Vuitton, to be honest, so I think I'm going to end this video here.